Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. Today we're going to be revisiting the ATI Fatboy Compact Double Stack 45. Now, in the initial review, I had some issues. I had to do a fair bit of work just to get the gun to work and fire a bunch of ammo through it to break it in. I do not admire break-in periods, as you may be aware if you've watched the channel. The gun had some other deficiencies, which I have worked to rectify. And I have to say the results have been very good. So let's have a look at what it's like to shoot now. So the gun is functioning flawlessly now, which is very good. Also, happily, it uses para-ordnance style magazines, and I happen to have a supply of my old 14-shot para-ordnance magazines, which fit in the gun and function just fine. And unlike the magazine that came with the gun, they did not need any adjusting to make them work. So that's all to the good. Now, I'd also tested this with hollow point ammunition. Contrary to my expectations, the 185 grain jacketed hollow points did not perform, and the 230 grain gold dot was at least provisionally acceptable. Now, these were making a velocity of 753 feet per second average for an average of 290 foot-pounds of energy, which is not that impressive. The same rounds from a 5-inch gun make on the order of 369 to 380 foot-pounds of energy. So there is a significant loss from going to a 5-inch to a 3 1/4 inch barrel. Duh. But overall, I'm quite happy with the gun. Before we get any further into the weeds, I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon. This is very much a shoestring operation, and your contributions help more than you know. I'd also like to thank channel benefactors, those individuals and businesses who have contributed to the channel in innumerable ways and really help make this work. And as always, shout out to Rain City Shooting Center for providing material support to the channel. So let's go to the tabletop and see some of the tweaks. Some of the things I noted in my initial review were some very sharp corners that, under repeated firing, became uncomfortable given how large my hand is. One of them was the base plate of the magazine had sharp corners at the back. That was very easy to fix. Just a few minutes with a file and a little polishing, and that's no longer an issue. There was also a very sharp corner at the bottom back of the handle, which there was no reason for that to be there. This is just aluminum black, Birchwood Casey aluminum black applied to protect it. But just that little bit of chamfering has eliminated any discomfort under extended firing. So that's all to the good. Now, a more important modification was switching from the janky double plunger recoil system that the gun came with, which famously have problems with spring life. And I have replaced that with an EGW flat wire recoil system that is both simpler and in my experience, significantly more robust. It's also easy to remove, which the original double plunger system required considerable messing around. I did have to make some slight alterations to this recoil cap, which is nominally for a Colt Defender. And of course, as noted in the initial review, I had to significantly clean up, polish, remove burrs, etc., just to get the gun to work. And even then, I had to fire a fair bit of ammo through it to ensure that it would function reliably, which happily it now does. So I have become quite happy with this gun. The ballistic performance is suboptimal, but the gun is very nice to shoot and very easy to keep double taps on target at 7 yards, as you saw in the video. My cunning takedown tool, bent piece of music wire. And the trigger is still heavy, but it's smoothing out and it's become rather nice and pretty easy to use. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this. Now, as a carry gun, as stated previously, I would prefer to have an ambidextrous safety, but not a deal breaker. I don't know that I'm actually going to carry this gun, but I certainly could if I chose to. Now, at 33 ounces unloaded, the gun is no lightweight, but it's not really heavy either, kind of in that in-between range. And it's very, very shootable and has turned out now, after enough work, to be very reliable. So I like it quite a bit, and I'm going to shoot it quite a bit more just because I like to. So anyway, that's the update on the ATI Fatboy 45. I hope this finds you well. Stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon.